Hello YouTube, welcome to another one of my Duel Links videos. So somebody mentioned in the comments that I hadn't made a Buster Blader deck, or that they wanted to see a Buster Blader deck, and this is not it. But it reminded me that I never used my Buster Blader fusions. If you saw my pack opening, then you know that I was trying really hard to get them, and then I remember that I haven't even tried using them at all. So I made this deck. It's pretty random. I mean, it's just that if you're familiar with any balanced fusion deck, it's basically that. It's just plug and play whatever monsters you're gonna use for your fusions. So we have dragons because we need that for the Buster Blader, what's the name? Buster Blader, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. So this requires Buster Blader and any dragon. I use Red Eyes because I do have 2 Red Eyes Wyvern. So once they hit the graveyard, I can also special summon them during the end of my turn if I did in normal summon. I run 2 Dark Magician for the Dark Paladin fusion, 3 normal Buster Bladers, and 4 fusion substitutes. You can run any 4. I'm running 1 fusion gate because I don't have a second fusion sage. Ideally, you want your monsters in the graveyard so that, especially your dragons, because they'll boost Dark Paladin. And also, like I said, if you have Red Eyes and Red Eyes Wyvern, you can summon the Red Eyes from the graveyard. So run 2 fusion sage if you have, 3 polymerization. I run Needleblock Nest for 2 reasons. One, because the main counter for Dark Paladin is Mirror Wall, because any spell that they try to use against him, you can just negate by pitching one of your monsters, or whatever card in your hand, which is kind of cool because if you have a dragon, you can just pitch the dragon and you'll negate the card and you'll also get a 500 boost. So that's why Needlebug Nest is here, to get dragons into the graveyard to boost Dark Paladin's attack, and also for the chance of summoning Red Eyes Dragon. I have 1 Meteor Black Dragon because I am running Red Eyes, and if I don't open with one of the Buster Blader fusions, I can always go for the Meteor Black Dragon. But I'm pretty sure I've had the Buster Blader in every game. I know I'm running 2 and 2, so it's kind of expensive, but I never went into multiples. So if you have 1 of each, that will work as well. Once again, this is not the deck that I'm going to use, or that I'm going to call a Buster Blader deck. This is just Buster Fusions, because I was super surprised at how many wings it was getting. I played about 4 games in casuals, I won them all, and then I decided to try it in the rankings, and it took me from gold 2 because I had to rank down over some losses from a deck I was testing. It took me all the way to gold 4. It went 6 and 2 in the ranking. So this one, it's against a Rex Raptor. I'm gonna activate character lines, I always forget. So he sets 1 card, summons some 2-headed King Rex. I have the Buster Blader fusion, so I go for Dark Paladin, and I don't attack because there was a slight delay, so I figured the card was Mirror Wall. And the fact that he just summoned another 2-headed King Rex in attack mode then told me that it was definitely Mirror Wall. So I used my Needlebug. I got 2 dragons in the graveyard, so my attack went up to 3900, which if he had Mirror Wall would have only put me at 1950, so just enough to get over the dinosaur. He summons the 2000 attack dinosaur and leaves it in attack mode, which again screams Mirror Wall, so I don't attack that one. Instead, I just destroy the 2-headed King Rex. I have 3 cards in hand, so I can negate Order to Charge, I can negate Econ, I can negate any spell he tries to use. So at this point, I'm kind of just waiting until I can boost his attack a little bit more, and I draw into Polymerization, fusion into the other Buster Blader to get my other dragon in the grave. He goes up to 4400. I attack, sure enough he had the mirror wall, but I'm still able to get over it. Buster Blader can't attack directly, so I don't get to finish the game right there. But during my end phase, I get to special summon Red-Eyed Black Dragon. He draws and just surrenders because he doesn't have an answer to all those 3 big monsters. That's the cool thing. Dark Paladin is you have to get over him with attack or using traps, because any spells you can just negate. The other Buster Blader, you also have to get over him with attack, because if you econ take and he's the only monster I was controlling, then you can't attack directly. So it's pretty neat how it's just kind of hard to deal with, even though it's just a relatively weak fusion monster. So this is against the Weevil. He opens 3 Parasite, because why not? Sets 1 monster in defense mode, sets 1 card. I have Fusion Gate, but luckily I drew into Fusion Sage, which is better. That way my monsters go to the grave. I could have gone for Piercing with the other Buster Blader, but instead I went for Dark Paladin so that I can negate Jade Insect Whistle, Enemy Controller, and those cards. So I attack, it's just a Cocoon of Evolution, it gets destroyed. He draws, sets 1 more monster, and ends turn. I draw, and all I'm doing right here is building my negations, because Dark Paladin is not once per turn. So as long as you have cards in your hand, you can keep negating spells. I attack into his other Cocoon of Evolution. He sets 1 more monster, ends turn. I decide to go aggressive here and summon my Meteor Black Dragon. Oh, I'm sorry. Summon Buster Blader. I'm so used to summoning Meteor Black Dragon in the auto duel. So I go for Buster Blader. That's right, because I wanted to pierce whatever monster he had set. I tried to attack and he made me wait the full 3 minutes for a time limit win, which kind of petty. You're running Weevil and you're getting salty, but whatever. Another easy win. And then we're going up against Paradox Brothers. We actually broke our 3-star Demotion Dark Magician streak. I didn't get to face any of them with this deck, but we did still face 3-star Demotion, which is this right here.
This is my key to victory.
So I opened 2 Buster Bladers. I like having the other fusion a lot better, the Dark Paladin, so I decided to just end my turn, see what he does before I summon the Destroyer. He sets 1 card, activates 3-star Demotion, but for whatever reason decides to set a monster. So in my head I thought that had to be the Thunder, what is it, Sangha? One of those gate monsters. I figured that's what it was. I drew into another Polymerization. Sadly no Dark Magician or not Fusion Substitute, but it actually comes in clutch because he has Ultimate Providence. So he ditches this spell to negate my Polymerization. But like I said, I have the other one, so I'm able to go into the Buster Blader Fusion anyway. And I decided to attack because even if it was the 2600 that makes my attack go to 0, I would have I'd rather take that damage while he's in defense mode. Oddly enough, it was a Guardian Angel Joan. I still don't understand why he did that, but I'm able to get over it once it's in defense position. He summons Amazonic Swordswoman in attack mode, thinking I'm not gonna attack it, but I don't care. I'll take the 1300 damage because this way I keep him in top deck mode. He's gonna need to draw now. He sets 1 monster. I activate Needlebug Nest just to decked in, I guess. I don't know. No real reason to activate it there. I draw into Dark Magician. Attack his Sergeant Electro with Piercing. I guess he wasn't familiar with Buster Blader's effect because at this point it was better for him to just not summon anything because he can't attack directly, but he pierces, so I actually end up milling both Red Eyes Wyvern and Red Eyes, so I get to special summon my Red Eyes in the end phase. He draws nothing and just ends, surrenders the game. That was the weird thing, that this deck was getting a lot of surrenders and rage quits because they just didn't have an out for the fusions. I'm definitely gonna try to make two different decks, one for Buster Blader the Destroyer and one for Dark Paladin. I just haven't figured out exactly how I want those decks to run. So anyway, this is our fourth replay. He goes Sergeant Electro, sets one card, ends turn, is running Mind Scan Control. I draw. I don't have a fusion, which is fairly odd when you run in balance, but it will happen. There'll be times where you just don't have the fusion. This was one of them. I try to attack over Sergeant Electro. He activates Econ, switches to defense mode. But Red Eyes Wyvern is 1600 defense, which is pretty decent, so his Sergeant Electro can't get over it. I activate my Needlebug Nest because I am gonna go into Dark Paladin eventually, so I might as well start filling up my graveyard with dragons, and maybe even a Red Eyes that I can summon if he destroyed my Red Eyes Wyvern. So there's my fusion substitute monster. I go Polymerization into Dark Paladin. And there is 3 dragons in my grave, so he goes all the way up to 4400. I destroy his Sergeant Electro, both of them. I figured that was a mirror wall, but he decided not to activate it. During the end phase, I banish the Red Eyes Wyvern that got milled and summon my Red Eyes. He draws, just surrenders. Too much to deal with. I can negate a spell. I have a 44 attack monster, a 24 attack monster, and an 1800 monster. So as you can see, the deck surprisingly does well. I didn't modify anything, so you can probably find a way to make this even more optimal. Maybe add some protection for your fusions, but Dark Paladin is not that vulnerable. Most of the cards to get over problematic monsters like that are all spells, and he can just negate those. So, and then this was the dream matchup. This was to rank up to Gold 4. When I saw the matchup, I started laughing because I knew it was basically an automatic win. And he does have Mountain, so obviously he's running Dragon. He goes for Mirage Dragon turn 1, sets 1 card. I could have gone for Dark Paladin, but being that this is a Dragon deck, I decided to just go for the Buster Blader the Destroyer. He goes all the way up to 3800 just from the 1 Dragon, switches him to defense mode, and pierce him for 3000. And this is where you see his only play to get over Buster Blader, because he runs a Dragon deck, right, is what? Enemy controller. So he summons his other Mirage Dragon, goes Econ Take, has a 3800 attack monster, but he can't attack directly. So I just have to summon my my fusion substitute monster, which just happens to have 1000 attack, and finish him off with that. It's pretty funny. I mean, pretty unfair to go up against the Buster Blader. I also went against the Blue Eyes, and I think it was last gamble Blue Eyes. They lost to the fusion. They couldn't get over it. They tried the same thing, Econ Take, but couldn't damage me with my own fusion monster, so they just ended up surrendering. So that's the deck. You know, don't take this deck super seriously. Obviously, All he does is get the fusions out, and then your opponent will either have the answer for it or won't. In most of the games I played, they didn't, so that's why I had a high win rate. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm gonna be revisiting Buster Blader eventually with some different builds, but I just wanted to show you guys this one because it's pretty fun to get the fusions out. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe if you want, and till next time.